So a good way of determining which routing protocols are actually being used on the router, you should just do a show IP protocol, and there you can see that the routes are being redistributed using RIP, and you can see the interfaces that they're being sent on and the maximum number of paths that can be used, the administrative distance of the route, and the last time the thing was updated. Now, one thing I should have mentioned before is that when you make config changes to a router, it actually only makes it to the running config, not the startup config. So if you want to effectively do a file save or file save as, you have to do copy run start destination file name start config, yes, or you can abbreviate that to copy rs. It'll do exactly the same thing. You can save multiple versions of configs, and you can change the name of it as well, and then you can do the show flash, and then you can see what's actually in there as far as configs and IOSs go, that kind of thing. So we've got RIP routing running in here, router RIP, and then what we can do, we can change it to version 2. We can do conft router RIP, then version 2, exit, exit. Show running. Now you can see it's automatically using router RIP version 2, and then you do show IP protocols, RIP again, RIP version number 2, which is exactly what we want. And we of course need to implement this on the other router as well, just to change the routing protocol. So we'll go conft router RIP version 2, exit, exit, copy, run, start. Exit. Oh, sorry. We'll do the show IP protocols here. Again, you can see it's running RIP version 2. Excellent. And then we'll do an end-to-end test to make sure we can still see exactly what we should be seeing. Excellent. So that is the PC on the far side. That's pinging from here across to here. This is pinging from here across to this interface on this side of the router. This is pinging myself. This is pinging, oh sorry, that's pinging this interface on the router. That's pinging myself. And we should also be able to ping that, which is this side interface on the router. And we can also ping that, which is this side interface on the router. So we have a fully connected network running RIP v2. So I guess we should probably talk about administrative distance. It's the first criterion that a router uses to determine which routing protocol to use if two protocols provide route information for the same destination. Administrative distance is a measure of the trustworthiness of the source of the routing information. It only has logical significance and isn't advertised in routing updates. The smaller administrative distance value, the more reliable a protocol. For example, if a router receives a route to a certain network, both Open Shortest Path First or SPF, which has a default administrative distance of 110, and Interior Gateway Protocol, which has a default administrative distance of 100. IGRP has a default administrative distance of 100. The router chooses IGRP because IGRP is more reliable, which means that the router adds the IGRP versions of the route to the routing table. If you lose the source of the IGRP derived information, for example due to a power shutdown, then the software uses the OSPF derived information until IGRP derived information appears. So if you look at this table here, a directly connected interface has a distance of 0, a static route is 1, EIGRP is 5, BGP is 20, internal EIGRP is 90, IGRP is 100, OSPF is 100, ISIS is 115. These are all defaults, by the way. RIP is 120, EGP 140, on-demand routing 160, external EIGRP 170, internal 200, and everything else is 255. So the administrative distance of 255 means the router doesn't believe the source of that route and doesn't think it's actually going to reach its destination. When you see the routes redistribution, occasionally you'll need to modify the administrative distance of a protocol so that it takes precedence. For example, if you want the router to select RIP learned routes with a default value of 120 rather than IGRP learned routes with a default value of 100 to the same destination, you must increase the administrative distance for IGRP to, say, anything over 120, or decrease the administrative distance of RIP. You can modify the administrative distance of a protocol through the distance command in the routing process subconfig mode. This command specifies that the administrative distance is assigned to the routes learned from a particular routing protocol. You need to use this procedure generally when you migrate the network from one routing protocol to another, and the latter has a higher administrative distance. However, a change in the administrative distance can lead to routing loops and black holes, so you must use caution if you change the administrative distance. So I know this is only a short video, but now we'll take a look at some more interesting routing protocols like OSPF and EIGRP and BGP as well.